This rally shows why Nadal was so dominant throughout his career and how he literally changed the game of tennis, especially in this rivalry with Federer. Check it out. Hey everyone, welcome back to The Slice and welcome back to our series called Highlights, where we break down a rally from a match on the ATP Tour, this time Federer versus Nadal, Miami 2005. This is in respect to Nadal announcing his retirement here at the Davis Cup this year. But we're going to break down this rally because it really showed a huge theme in the Federer-Nadal rivalry and a huge reason why Nadal was so dominant through his years on the many years on the ATP Tour and in the world of pro tennis. So thanks for being here. Hit the subscribe button and shout out to Tennis TV, who is a sponsor of this video. You can watch matches like this, historical matches on Tennis TV, as well as obviously the live up-to-date ATP matches. You can see highlights really quickly once the match is finished, and you can watch back the match pretty much in real time, skipping through in crystal clear definition. It's a great service, and if you don't have it as a tennis fan, it's crazy to me. I can't be a tennis fan or a reporter without it. So check out Tennis TV, link below to start your subscription. Okay, let's get into it. This is Federer-Nadal, Miami Open 2005, their second ever match after they played here in 2004 before this. So right as we start, Nadal often starts his service games, or back then his serve wasn't as big, and it just kind of started points. And you can already see here Federer showing what types of rally he wants to be in. So he slices the return to Nadal's backhand, but Nadal runs around it and pounds it up the line into the Federer backhand. That's a theme we saw throughout their career. And early on in this rivalry, Federer kind of didn't know how to handle the forehands, the lefty forehands from Nadal that were going high and deep into his backhand. And this rally shows exactly that. So Nadal goes up the line into the Federer backhand, who does well to go cross court. And now they're in this pattern that Nadal loves and Federer does not like. But let's just go back there. This shot is absolutely crazy. Nadal hits a forehand here that honestly doesn't land that deep in the court. Lands about at the service line, but see how high it kicks up on the Federer backhand, single-handed backhand. Federer literally has to hit this above his shoulder, as you can see here. And if you've ever played with a one-handed backhand, you know how hard that is. You've probably never hit a Nadal forehand from above your shoulder. And if you haven't played with a one-handed backhand, you could probably imagine how tough it would be. It's hard to make good contact with the ball there, let alone hit a quality shot. And Federer actually does hit a quality shot here. You can see he's on his tippy toe of his shoe there. And he hits a quality cross-court backhand, but then Nadal just pounds it down the line and has Federer on the run. Again, Federer does great there to retrieve it and hit a quality forehand cross-court. That puts Nadal back on the run. You can see a theme here. They're both animals when it comes to movement, and their rivalry had so much of it throughout its course. But Nadal gets to this ball, goes cross-court strong, and now they're in a rally that Federer likes, but Nadal just goes down the line, switches up the angles, and goes back into the Federer backhand. Federer is getting to tee off in a few forehands, but Nadal is strong on his backhand side. He's never had a weak backhand, and then he just gets to go down the line again. Federer does good again to get the ball cross-court with a single-hander, but Nadal comes over and loops it back. And again, it's going to land. And then Federer has to take that one on the rise, or tries to, and doesn't really hit it cleanly, probably shanks it a little bit. It lands short, and then Nadal gets to crank into it. Federer slices it down the line, and then Nadal sees an opportunity and goes back behind him for the corner. You can see throughout that rally how
some terrific defensive tennis from Nadal, and Federer was moving around the court. It was the height of the net, it was the speed, the Spaniard was able to keep, which enabled him to stay in the rally. Then when he got his opportunity, he was
And that's a theme throughout their career. But mainly the forehand of Nadal, one of the most brutal shots, probably the most brutal shot in all of tennis history, really, was showing a full display there. Early on in their career, 2005, Federer had really never seen anything like that. And his, the forehand going up to his shoulder, him having to hit backhands, it took him years to figure that out. Really, it took him like a decade to figure that out, because through the next 10 years, Nadal won the majority of their matches. He won the next 5 matches after this. And a huge reason for that was the forehand, lefty forehand into the Federer backhand. That's an age-old story. We've all heard that and seen that throughout time. But you can also see in that rally the movement that Nadal so easily possesses around the court. Anytime that Federer does well, cross court, Nadal easily runs it down. And throughout his career, he was able to run down so much of the offense from Federer and hang with the full game from Djokovic. And that's why Nadal was the best. And he talked about what separated him on clay. That was hard court. On clay, Nadal talked about the main thing that separated him from everyone else was he thought movement. Movement is the number one thing for him on clay. He was the best mover in the history of the game on clay, and obviously the best player in the history of the game on clay. But I just thought that was a cool rally to show from Miami Open 2005, the second match of their incredible 40 matches that they played on tour together. Nadal winning 24 of those. And really it took Federer in 2015 is kind of when the script switched. Federer started winning a lot more of those matches. He started playing with a bigger racket. He started being much more aggressive as a player. Kind of from that early stage on, Federer became more aggressive. You can see there in that rally, Federer hanging back, playing from the baseline with Nadal the whole time for good reason. What are you just going to do? Rush the net versus a Nadal who can banana hook it around you or over you or through you. But Federer started using a bigger racket, got better able to take the ball early, I would say, and realized that he didn't want to hang on the baseline with Nadal, and got in whenever he could and got better at doing it. So Nadal changed the game. You see players using a lot more spin now than they ever have. He epitomized what it was meant to be a warrior in tennis. Just the fiercest competitor people say they've ever seen in tennis. And his physique, his physicality, his determination, and his warrior spirit are what made him absolutely special. One of the absolute legends of the game, the greatest tennis player of all time on clay, and one of the nicest guys to ever do it as well. So that's a highlight from the Miami Open 2005, thanks to Tennis TV. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Nadal retirement below. And that is a little tribute to him from here at The Slice. Thanks for being here. That's a highlight.